and let's do a little flamenco. Flamenco is good. It's good for the soul.
Sounds good.
Que fatiga más grande, ya tane el andar, que fatiga más grande, ay, ya tane el andar. Se viene atrás, que fatiga más grande, ay, ya tané el andar.
That's great.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
She was strutting her stuff, wasn't she?
Sure
She was embodying the Queen of Wands. Look at the Queen of Wands sitting on her 2-foot board. Smack, flamenco, my space, right? Dancing that beautiful flamenco. That is, of course, the energy of Oshun, who teaches us to respect boundaries, right? Time and space. We learn that, of course, from the goddess Oshun, from the Queen of Wands, of course, which is also inspired by the flamenco, which we got to see today. The gypsy flamenco, when the gypsies could not live on the land and they were pushed from city to city, and all they had was a board to call their own. It's an interesting history with the gypsies and the dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you both? Do tell. How are you this beautiful Thursday as we all find our way to the stream? Do tell us how you're both doing. Chuck, you want to start?
I'm doing great. I've just been working on a lot of artwork. I had a birthday yesterday.
You did. Happy birthday. We all want to wish Chuck a very happy 29th
Happy birthday.
Yes, 29th. I'm going to stick to that. So I did that, and I've just been working on a lot of art projects and working for you. And I'm here doing this, which I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, we're happy to have you here. And of course, the amazing floor director, Joel Tilson, is also here tonight.
Hi, guys. Hey, I just finished a project today of my drawer. I had a pesky drawer that wasn't working.
Pesky drawer.
And it drove I couldn't get a professional to fix it. So what I did is I went ahead and did my research and all that, and found out that the cabinet was at fault. So I had to align the boards a little bit better.
Did it get warped?
It was warped. Yeah. It was off about 1/4 of an inch.
That'll do it.
And once I shaved it off, the one side worked like a dream after that.
Excellent.
That's when you're proud of yourself. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we wanted to say hi to all of you. And before we get started, we want to announce that we do have a Book of the Month club that we started, Chuck and myself, about 3 years ago. And it's for independent writers. We are looking for people who are writing in the genre of the metaphysical, spiritual lessons, life lessons. We love strong female leads, but that's not a prerequisite. It can be fiction or nonfiction. And if you are a writer and you're ready to have your fame here on our show, we do our interviews on Taco Tuesdays on Tuesday nights. Please think about sending your books to care of Dr. Whimsy Anderson, 1819 Southwest 5th Jefferson Suite 1, or excuse me, let me try that again. I gave the wrong address. 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 116, Portland, Oregon, zip 97201. And who knows, maybe your book will be selected for our Book of the Month club. And of course, we are proud to announce that the winner for our June selection is Christina Bach. Congratulations. And she is the author of Now Ever. This book is great. And there are so many reasons why I love this book. You can talk about all the reasons you like when she gets here next week.
Oh, we're going to have a good interview.
This is a really good
lot
book.
of questions.
I'll tell you why. Because Portland, Oregon and Seattle, Washington are similar towns, right? Portland, Oregon and Seattle are similar towns. I am, of course, in beautiful Portland, Oregon. I am the official Oracle. Yes, I am the official Oracle of Portland, Oregon. Thank you very much. Yes, this is the kingdom of the Oracle. Yes. But Seattle, I went to grade school here and my freshman year here in Portland, and then I did my sophomore and senior years in Seattle. Dropped out of high school actually, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, the difference is really that Seattle is a really cliquish town. And it's very much a place where a lot of up and trending fashion comes from Seattle, the grunge look, the grunge music. So in their desperate attempt not to belong to anything, they're creating the new fashions to statements. A lot of it has come
but ironically a new thing to fit into.
One of the best places I found in the Northwest is Point Defiance.
Oh, really?
Especially when you go to the restaurants right next to the water of Puget Sound. It's absolutely gorgeous this time of year.
Yeah, and that became its own fashion, like the Eddie Bauer raincoats also became a fashion trend. So in a way, Christina Bach is kind of making fun of that because this is an alternate world. We, if you believe in multiverses, that there are multiple versions of this world, right? In a multiverse. And this is nowhere, and yet it's somewhere. And so it is a world that, because there are trillions and trillions of ways that Chuck could be Chuck in a trillion different universes. There are a trillion different universes of, in one, he's married to Angelina Jolie, right? And
my neighbor down the street.
Right.
Multiverse.
Only in his dreams. But
she lives 5 minutes down the road.
But in another reality, you two bumped into each other, fell in love, got married, and had kids, right? So the point is that in the multiverse, we do exist in multiple universes, but in a different nature of being. And that is what we see in Now Ever. This is a different Seattle. This is a Seattle that also has the cliques. This is taking place on an island like Vashon Island, and the kids are really cliquish. You have the kids that really want to fit in, that have the flashy lights in their hair. Everybody wears twinkle lights, and then they shave their eyebrows. That's the fashion. You shave your eyebrows and you put twinkle lights in your hair. And then you've got another group, which is kind of like the Beasties. And they walk around in humanely acquired fur, usually from roadkill. Or whatever. Like she's got this sexy boyfriend who's pursuing her, who is decked out in like leather and fur, and he's growing out his eyebrows. And But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out. It's a great book, and I love the fact that you just have to dispense with the reality of this world and accept the alternate world. And she is powerful in this world, and I like that also. She's a misfit. She doesn't fit in anywhere. She's kind of like a lot of the kids I grew up with when I went to Seattle, where none of us ever quite fit in. And we hung out and smoked cigarettes, and it was like 1980s. Generation Jones and Generation X hanging out, smoking cigarettes. Screw you! We don't have to go to school. It doesn't matter anyway. Nuclear proliferation, man. We're all going down. It's such a drag.
Oh, I'd like to have seen Teenage Whimsy.
1983. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go. Yeah. So that is the book of the month. Please check it out. And of course, Christina Bach will be in our studio next Tuesday. We look forward to having her. Chuck, would you please do the honors?
Well, I would
being able to say hi to everybody who's showed up. If you could like, share, and subscribe to this stream, it really helps us as we make our way. Mark 250K.
Yeah, we're heading there, aren't we? Okay, well, we have Ann Coleman, 6064. My goodness, Joel Tilson's here. Our floor director. Let me scroll through all the Joel Tilsons here. Wendy Burt, 8442. Rockin' Pony Lady. Susie Q, 8389. Deb-P9J.
Hi.
Hey. Tori V. Sun Moon. Amherst. Hi. Kimberly Bly Fitfold. Crystal Blue 6. Donna Williams -Z8J. Joseph Winnie 802. Elizabeth Beck. Rebecca L 135.
Rebecca.
Let's see, going through here so I don't repeat names. Gigi Pardo Lord.
Hey, Gigi.
Hey.
Gigi.
Yeah, Marley Moon 16.
Awesome.
Joseph Winnie 802. Angelina Delgado -Y7.
Awesome. Well, we'll continue to say hi to everybody who has come this way.
Sure.
Please be sure and post all your questions, and we'll try to get to them. We have a good, like I said, the floor director is here to make sure everyone's questions are fielded, and usually he does a good job at guessing at some of what your questions are, and he got it right again. Number one question that I am getting fielding in my comments in the last 24 hours is, who is Graham Plattner's replacement? Any feelings about this, Chuck? Do you want to go ahead?
I don't have any feelings about anyone specific, but it's certainly a hotbed right now. There's certainly a scramble to not waste time, with the elections coming up so soon. It's got to be done expediently.
Yes.
And it's also got to be someone better vetted. The last thing they need is another scandal, and there has been precedent for that happening. I don't know, Whimsy, Joel, do you have any idea?
I saw him the other night when they were talking about whether he was going to resign or not, and he did, but I can't remember the guy's name that was on.
Troy Jackson. Troy Jackson.
That's
is the one that's now most likely to be endorsed by the Democrats.
Yeah, he's vetted really good.
And Troy Jackson, from what I understand, is left of center, which is good. He's going to be pushing progressive ideas.
He's more of a moderate, I think, too.
Moderate, yeah. I mean, I think Bernie likes him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he endorsed him.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's going to count a lot.
Yeah. So I think we're going to be okay in Maine. When I go, like I said, I've done a lot of meditations on this.
I saw your video on this.
Yeah, I feel when I go into the Maine voter that they are just exhausted and tired of Collins. Anybody but Collins seems to be, they just want her gone. And so I think that we're probably going to win Maine, barring something unusual happening, just because I think people really want to see change in Maine. Any feelings about that, you guys?
Yeah, this certainly makes sense to me.
It's not just Maine, it's all across the country.
Oh, yes.
A lot of your party candidates are losing their primaries, by the way. And it's going to be pretty bad all across the country for the GOP.
Yeah, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
The only worry that I have is I hope they don't get a lot of candidates. The Democrats get a lot of candidates that are left. What do you call it? Extreme left?
Yeah.
No, we don't want extreme left. But we're talking about the working class representation. That's what I'm looking for. Is working class representation.
Exactly.
And middle class representation.
And do something about healthcare.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So healthcare, affordable wages, affordable housing. You don't have to be some radical left lunatic. These are not radical ideas. These are FDR. This is FDR democracy.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. You know something, the so-called big, beautiful bill, most of those measures aren't supposed to take place until after the elections. I'm wondering if the Democrats come into power, can they strike some of that down? Or
yes.
Good. So they can undo that.
They can initiate legislation to curb certain things.
Excellent.
And do something about the tax breaks that the billionaires are getting.
Yeah, exactly. But we have here from you, Joel, Todd Blanche's Attorney General Senate confirmation is next week. Will he be confirmed?
He's got 1,200 people in the DOJ that are testifying against it.
Really?
1,200.
Well, I think what we should do is we'll go ahead, we'll do the empath prayer, and then we'll get to this question and everybody else's question. If you would like to receive a healing at this time, please give us your name or the name of the person that you would like us to pray for, and we will pray for you and for them as we come together at this time and bring in the empath prayer. Any announcements or anything we have to mention before we go into this?
No.
Anything else? Okay. So let's go ahead. We'll do the empath prayer, and then we'll blitz away. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say Amen.
Amen.
And for those people requesting healings today, we come together at this time and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again collectively as a community we say Amen, 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 Amen.
Amen.
May all souls be healed.
May all souls be healed.
Amen. All right. Todd Blanche's Attorney General Senate confirmation is next week. Will he be confirmed? Todd Blanche for Attorney General. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Will he be confirmed?
Probably yes. You know, I'm getting a yes. Ace of Wands, within the next 30 days comes victory. It's a heck of a fight, though. I'm surprised Dan Goldman didn't make it because he was a darn good guy. He was good. That Dan Goldman won't be representing New York because that kind of ethics we really could use. Hopes and fears his power, and he's strong. I think he's going to get in.
Well, barely. That's kind of what I have my cards here, like barely. That's why I had to get the pendulum out. I did get a yes, a weak yes, but I was getting things like, well, it's very much about priorities and purpose here. But I got that there's a lot of risk around him, so that's creating a lot of uncertainty, a certain amount of restriction, and I didn't know quite what that meant. So I went to the pendulum. I did get a yes, but it's not a popular decision by any means.
Yeah.
Iraq Kurdish forces invaded Western Iran to take territory. Will they succeed?
Well, you know, this is the old deal. Is that they protect the trade route, and then we pulled out of Iran or Iraq, and we left the Kurds to be demolished. We didn't protect the
Yes.
trade route. So
They got
now,
slaughtered.
so what the hell are we going to do? We're going to protect the trade route, or we're going to put them up there and say, protect that trade route. What the hell is this? We're fair weather friends. We left them to protect that trade route, and then we left, and Hezbollah moved in, and now we're, oh my God, what happened? Hezbollah.
And ISIS too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is at war with Hezbollah. Let them kill each other, right? So that's the whole thing with Syria. Let Syria kill Iran, because the Sunni and the Shia are at war. They've been at war for 1,000 years, right? So
Yeah.
but the Kurds,
Turkey slaughtered over 1.5 million Kurds in World War I.
right?
Genocide.
With the Kurds, I would say they need to get them in as part of the Abraham Accords.
Yeah.
If they can get them to be allies, the Bedouins are now allies of the Abraham Accords, right? So we have all these Bedouins now in Gaza, right?
Yeah.
Well, if it wasn't
I told you the Bedouins were going to take Gaza. So now who's the first to go in? Morocco. Who are the Morocco? It's the Bedouin nations, right?
Yeah.
So the Berber are going in.
Yeah.
Well, the Kurds helped us out in the Iraq.
Yeah,
in
that we
2003.
totally screwed them over. But we have the sun coming out, riding on the sun. So the answer would be yes. Hidden co-op. You know what? I think, man, we better treat the Kurds right. We really messed them up last time.
Well,
yeah. Look, obviously we want them to protect the new trade route. I say go ahead and give it to them, but we better damn well protect them and not abandon them.
And let them have their own nation.
To be abandoned. And Two of Swords. Yeah, so they have to have their own nation.
yeah.
They have some strong women too.
They're tough.
They're egalitarian, that's for sure. They've got women fighters and everything. I think that they're going to win, taking territory. The Kurds are strong fighters. Six of Wands moving in with the sun. House opposition. Three of Swords comes for the IRGC. Hopes and fears many dead, and hang up their positions. So I see the Shia fleeing, and there's going to be chaos also. Chaos. They don't know where to go from here. They, just give them what they need.
Yeah.
Turkey under Erdogan is not our friend. We all know this. Why we would be doing any deals at all with Turkey is beyond my understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chuck.
Two paying cards I got, there's going to be a balancing out, but there's going to be some sort of compromise where no one's really happy, but some sort of agreement. Something's going to come out of it. That's the main thing I got. And if you wondered why I was fidgeting around, I dropped my pendulum and I can't find it. And so I apologize for all the fidgeting around, but I'll make do.
Did you find it? Do you want to find it?
Well, I'm going to have to get up and get under my couch cushion or something. I'll be
all
fine.
right. So why don't you go ahead and do that? And then I'll go ahead and read this while you find your pendulum.
Thank you.
And this is coming in from Joel Tilson. Is the IRGC losing its grip in Iran? Well, Joel, I definitely have my feelings about this, and I'd like to hear your opinion because I know you're as educated, if not more so, on this than I am. So tell me how you're feeling about this whole thing that's going on in Iran. And I think neither of us is surprised that that it didn't hold. No,
the problem with Iran is it's such a big nation. And you got 90 million people, which only 10% is supporting the government, that the regime that's in now. And I really think that once the Islamic Republic starts getting their blood, their nose bloodied a little bit, they're going to give up and flee. It's just that you have to put pressure on them. And the problem right now that I see is that we have to follow up. You just can't bomb them into oblivion. You got to go ahead. Somebody has to go in and clear them out. Otherwise, the people don't have enough weapons as it is right now. The regular people, I mean, in Iran.
Is there any way to avoid the 5 phases at this point? If you look at the math, boom, 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 according to supercomputers. In 2023, they said it would go down like this. Can we avoid it? Is it inevitable? I think it's inevitable. I think the math is the math.
You got to get them out.
Right.
You have to get Putin out, and you have to get the Iranian regime out. Period. There's just no way around it.
Mm-hmm.
Why NATO is not helping out.
Okay, so here is a thought experiment that happened with me where I was doing remote viewing and I was doing research on safe zones and building safe zones. I got really, really into it, and I wrote my second dissertation. And I was using supercomputers, and I had been up, I hadn't slept a lot in 72 hours and was just going through the data. But basically, the data came down to 5 fatal phases, vital phases that would have to happen in order for the Abraham Accords to be successful and for them to avoid a major event. What Grok described as supercomputers described as a major event. A major event would be, for example, pirating nuclear weapons from Pakistan and firing on Israel and Lebanon would be a major event, right? So if you're just calculating least amount of possible deaths, trying to prevent a nuclear holocaust, right? What has to go down? And this is the 5 phases the tightest math that I could come up with based on the data with as few words as possible, right?
Right.
It feels to me, looking at this as a remote viewer, as just a data collection person, because I wasn't working for anybody, I was just my own person doing data collection. Mm-hmm. I feel in my heart of hearts, because of what's going down, that the math is the math, and that everybody realizes that the math is the math. That's the first thing. The second thing has to do with phase 4 and what President Biden had said, that phase 4 had to happen, and that became a debate in Congress we know Elon Musk took the opposite, spoke against phase 4 openly in Congress. It seems obvious to me also that everybody has come to the conclusion that phase 4 is inevitable and that Putin is going down.
One way or another.
One way or the other.
Do you think that it's obvious now also to Trump and Elon Musk that phase 4 is happening because they fought against it?
Sure. I
think they changed their mind on that.
Why?
Yeah, because of the steps that he's taking in Iran right now.
Do you think, but I'm saying, what was the thing that changed their mind? Was it the fact that they came to realize that they would
because
forever...
Ukraine is winning.
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine is winning.
Don't you think it had to do with the Abraham Accords and the fact that they felt like they would never be able to accomplish that trade route as long as Iran and Russia were obstacles?
Right. They're blocking it.
So that's also a problem with Turkey, because Turkey is also in the middle of it, right?
It is. Yeah, Turkey's in the middle of this. They're not helping that
Qatar.
much.
So we have
Qatar.
Yeah.
And Qatar too.
Mm-hmm.
Did they attack Qatar today?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
And Qatar is now changing its tune. It goes back It goes back to the remote view with Elon Musk, where I felt Elon Musk had changed his mind about Putin. And what he said in the remote is, we're going to have to remove him with tweezers, like that game of Operation Beep.
Yes.
If when you try to pull the bone out.
Mm-hmm.
And that appears to be also what's happened here, is that they're removing Putin, but they're doing it with tweezers. It's very precise. It's a very delicate thing, because this nut job has threatened nuclear war.
Oh yeah.
Assad?
Putin.
No, I mean, I'm talking about Mossad going in.
I think we're all on the same page. I think that, I think everybody, whether they whether they can publicly come out and say it or not, attacking Trump because, oh, look at this lunatic. But meanwhile, we've got the data to show that they were planning this for years. I'm just one data collection person. There were thousands of data collection people that with real jobs that actually do this for a living, not just some lonely person with a computer up until 3 a.m. So my feeling is that whether or not Europe European leadership, whether or not people want to admit to it or not, the data is the data, and everybody knows what's happening, and everybody wants a piece of the pie. Yeah. It's too dangerous. They're too unstable, Iran. There's no way we could have kept them in power.
Yeah.
And they're striking out even against Jordan today.
I saw Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and Jordan.
The only place they didn't hit was Israel.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the future of the IRGC. I think that they can't win. I think the data is the data, and you're not going to. Nobody's going to stop the new trade route. I just don't think so. I think that they would kill their own grandmothers at this point because of the amount of money they see. They just see those euro dollars floating. People will say whatever they want to say in public, but we all know what's coming. We all know what the phases are because we all know what the prize is at the end. And the prize at the end is the Abraham Accords and billions and trillions of dollars in your pocket. Damn right they're going to keep plowing forward, even if they have to mow down Iran to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
IRGC is finished. It's all about taking control. Look at that, control of the riches. 9 of Pentacles, House of Opposition. There's Iran, religious extremist, hopes and fears. The new leadership, Khamenei's son, Mujabi, and final outcome in the grave. 4 of Swords.
They're all taken out.
Well, what did the computer say? I just go back to the hard data. We can be as emotional as we like about this. Like, I don't feel this way, or I don't. But this is why I do think supercomputers are important in research, because they put emotion aside. There is no way that you're going to be able to build the Abraham Accords and the new Gaza if you do not dismantle Iranian leadership. It's just as simple as that. There's no emotion that Grok is attaching to it. They are an obstacle to the new Gaza. They are an obstacle to the new trade route. Putin is as well.
And now with Morocco sending those peacekeepers, that's a hopeful sign right there.
They brought the Bedouin. Chuck, please go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I actually have one card here. Pretty says it all, but I got priority, community, the people, survival. There's just so much exhaustion, a lot of restriction, but you used the terminology in the grave. Didn't you say that? Because for your last card, well, look what my last card was. I think this is what says it right here, death.
There you go.
Death, that's the end. That told me everything right there with that.
So where do they go? Do they flee to the mountains of Afghanistan? Because that seems to be where they're headed. They're fleeing. That's what they're saying. They're fleeing.
Join the Taliban.
That's right.
Yeah. Probably so.
That is crazy. But isn't there a split between the Shia and the Sunni within Afghanistan? So what's that?
They might not take them.
How's that going to work out? Like all these mountain people that are Shia that are coming in from Afghanistan for the funeral, those are Afghanistanians.
And it's not just one group in the Taliban. There's a bunch of tribal leaders all over Afghanistan right now.
Yeah.
So it's not just one group of people. It's a whole bunch of different groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was even thinking of bin Laden. Didn't he flee to the mountains and the caves?
Yes.
In Afghanistan?
They protected him.
It makes me wonder if they have like hidden fortresses there. When they
they have underground
things. Yeah. Probably.
I mean, they got underground cities and everything inside the mountains.
That's probably what it is. So anyway, we have here. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to read that. Why did Trump change his Qatari Air Force One to the old Air Force One? Well,
good question, huh?
Yeah. I got a hit immediately. Like maybe they found some bugs on there or something. They found they hadn't cleared that plane as well as they thought they had, and they should have done. Because didn't it cost close to $1 billion to refurbish that plane to make it acceptable to be Air Force One? But I just got a hit right now that there's something they didn't catch on there and found it.
The hit I've been getting is that the Iranians are calling for the death of kill Donald Trump. We will give you $100 million if you kill Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So Tulsi TV is talking about that. And so I think if they're smart, they will keep moving him around so that they never get comfortable.
Mhm.
In plain old words, if the Iranians think if the Iranians have somehow gotten a hold of some way of tagging that particular plane, then they would know where Trump is. So all they have to do is switch planes, and now they can't find Trump because they're no longer tagging that plane.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what it looked like to me. But
it also was done very hurriedly too, when they refurbished that plane to do as much as they had to do.
It was a rush job.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Whimsy.
Yeah, so they're kind of making a lot of jokes about it, like we want to kill him, and we will give you $100 million, and Tulsi was making fun of them and saying, look, this is not a TikTok influencer walking around with no security. This is the president of the United States, you wingnuts. You can't just march around with flags saying, we will give you $100 million to kill the president. But yeah, so it was kind of funny. I saw it on Tulsi earlier, and I thought it was pretty. I was just checking. Yeah. I was just watching it on Tulsi. Too bad I can't find it right now. But it was a barrel of laughs, as they say. Oh, yes, here it is. Yes, I found it. Yes. Kill Trump. Kill him. Yes, you must. Here is Tulsi TV. Yes, Tulsi TV. President. So reporting on it, here's Mayor Tulsi. And you can see some of these flags. Some of the flags are pretty wild. He shows some of the flags. Here's some of the demonstrations also. This is the president trying to come out of the funeral.
Wow. Good grief.
I don't, I think a lot of people question his loyalty, and I don't know if he would necessarily even be safe in that crowd. What do you think?
I wouldn't go in there.
No.
So here is President Trump basically saying he's going to wipe him off the face of the map, and that he's done dealing with them, he says. And so I figured out what they're really like,
Northwestern Iran and Baluchistan Liberation Army in the southeast, and the Immortal Guard. Not much.
Yeah, so you can see the retaliation, but he showed the cutest signs. We will give you $100 million. We will $100 million right now if you.
And his own father's funeral. He's right there. We have the evidence. Mojtaba is there.
Here's the counter protest, but it was just pretty funny. So I think if people are that dedicated to killing you, you might want to switch planes.
You might.
Especially now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's go on. Let's see. From Joel also. Russia's fuel shortages are worsening and people are frustrated. Will Putin survive?
Of course not. It's phase 4,
Oh, yeah.
Biden approved phase 4 when he was in office, his second year in office, right? Third year in office.
Yeah. We even talked about this, I believe, on the last show. It could be the uprising of the people themselves. They're going to be the final straw. Once people are starving, they can't get fuel, they can't get electricity. Farmers can't even get fuel for their tractors. There's going to be uprising.
Food riots.
Take a look at the fall.
Remember 1917?
Oh yeah.
Any chance that they'll hand any chance? Well, 1917 it goes back to house arrest again. This is how the Russians. This is the history of the Russians. We have done it before, and we will do it again.
Yeah.
They put them under house arrest, and then they decide: is it worth? Do we kill them, or do we just keep them under house arrest? They went every single leader they've ever had. They've done this to practically. Some would argue they even did it to Stalin because Stalin was so paranoid in the end, he had pretty much killed everybody that was close to him. If you ever look at the book Stalin in Pictures, I mean, he literally murdered everybody.
He had that wild look to his face all the time, like he was just really paranoid all the time.
Yeah.
Plus, he was a drunk too.
Oh God. Well, I guess that's better than Putin with what Putin's shooting up.
Drug addict.
Yeah.
Putin is finished. You know, I don't think that Biden is going to get his wish. Phase 4 is Joe Biden. You know, that I don't think the West can get hands on him.
No.
But hasn't he basically been accused of crimes against humanity at this point?
Yes.
Well, what was the accusation?
Indicted by the Hague.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it.
Because wasn't he tried in proxy at the Hague?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
I know that Joe Biden pushed very heavily for it.
They had a warrant out for his arrest.
Okay, that would make sense. But you've got this karma here, right? There's karma over him. In plain words, Putin already incurred his karma with what he did to those kids. And here it is again. Look at this. He's going to have to retreat or leave. He is going to have to step down. The only way to get him to agree to step down is if he trusts the person that's taking over is not going to hand him over to the Western military.
Well, let me ask another question. What happens to his fortune? He's the richest man on earth right now.
He will attempt to flee. Look at this. Looks at his coffers, finances, and look at this. The thief attempts to flee. He's going to attempt to flee. Look, the only safe place for him is Siberia. What'd you say? He had 200 of his own personal men watching him in Siberia?
Yeah.
He's got his own military. How many people is it? I heard 200. I heard 800. I don't know.
800. It's 800.
Holy crap. That's pretty pathetic.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how it's going to end for him? Because according to this, that's pretty much how it ends.
He'll be isolated.
Yeah, we've been seeing that for a long time. Siberia.
Do you guys think?
What's the name of that place? Vladislav or something like that?
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you think the odds are that they hand him over to the West?
None.
I think 0 too.
Yeah.
They never have.
I don't see that happening at all.
They would never do that.
No.
Russians would never do that.
Yeah, I just know for months and months and months we've been seeing Siberia exile. It may be a comfortable exile, but I think it's going to be a hell for him just the same. But I think it's just obvious what's going on. You know, I have lost, deprivation, shadow, truth coming to the surface.
Yeah.
I get Putin is in a lot of denial. You know, he's just in his own little world. He's in a lot of denial. But something that I liked, instead of another death card or something, I like this. This was actually positive, new beginnings. That was my last card. Like, that's a way of saying, yes, he's going to be gone, but there are going to be some more positive new beginnings coming. And I thought that was a nice thing for the cards to say.
Yeah, I think that if somebody says, I will not indict you, I will not hand you over to the West, we don't do that. You know, you're going to have a great cushy life like Gorbachev.
And Yeltsin.
Yeah, and Yeltsin, Khrushchev, you know, just go die somewhere, you know. Write your memoirs like Gorbachev, you know, like.
Yes.
Go have a happy meal.
So I think we're all in agreement there.
Okay. How many groups are plotting to assassinate Trump or other world leaders? I'd say there's a whole line.
Oh, gosh, Joel, really?
Oh, what a question. I think just this country alone, there are people who'd like to do that. You know, it's around the world. We're talking probably literally one of the most despised human beings on the planet.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah. How
I think he's up
many
there.
Groups? Okay. Will Ukraine be successful in building their own Patriot missiles? So, but
I think that's a fair.
I think
question.
so. Yeah. If if nothing else, then Israel will supply because Israel's now making independent weapons. They're tired of listening to people say, "You're not gonna get fine. We'll do it ourselves."
Yeah, I think people want to be on the side of the winning country too.
Right.
Well, like for instance,
victorious.
Like for instance, the drone technology right now. Everybody is following Ukraine's example on the drones. They got drones at only $50 or doing a number on the Russians right now.
I was thinking that today when I was just watching some of the footage of the drone strikes in different countries on the news today. I was thinking these seem to have just come out of nowhere, like in the last 5-10 years even. I know they've been around longer, obviously, but it seems like the proliferation and war.
Ukraine's going to join the Abraham Accords. It's it's like this is so obvious, you guys, what's happening. I mean, once you look at the numbers, when you look at the 5 phases, it's so obvious, man.
Yeah.
That they're going to do an oasis zone in the Donetsk. It's so taking it slow. He gets loving energy from, I think that's the Arab countries. And look at this, 6 of Cups, gifting and trading.
Well, NATO right now has got contracts with Ukrainian companies to build drones.
Yeah, and look at this, karmically, the karmic wheel, Ukraine is set. I think they're going to join the Abraham Accords. I think that it's going to it's a new trade route, and it's going to make it would make money for Russia too if they would just sign up. Well, actually, the 6th phase says that Iran and Russia don't get to be a part of it, and not until they have a change of government. Could you believe that Trump actually violated the 5 phases and said to Iran, well, let's bring you into the Abraham Accords? When I heard that, I'm like,
no.
What the hell? That is in direct violation. That was in it's like every researcher was probably like, the data says to do, like, that's very clear. Warning, do not give these people any money because look what happened when we gave them money. Look what happened with Hezbollah. They're true believers. And to some extent, you could argue that Putin is a true believer too. He truly believes that he is the Messiah of the church, that will the true church of Russia, that will the 4 corners of the earth, the sun will never set on Russia. I mean, he and Iran, they're both completely delusional. He has no tolerance for Islamic extremism, Putin, because he doesn't want competition. He's the Messiah.
The one and only.
You know, if you talk about what he did in Chechnya, he
slaughtered a lot.
Well, he incinerated. He went in with those live torches.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah.
So, but you know, when you examine the culture, I mean, he was firebombing them. Those torches that were coming out of those tanks, it was like cremating people alive. I mean, like the brutality with which he was dealing with that part of the world.
Wasn't he using chemical weapons too?
I don't know about that, but I've seen the flame throwing thing that he was doing while he was hurling flame, and that looked it just looks absolutely brutal.
Absolutely.
It was like, and primitive as hell too, to do that. Just wads of fiery gasoline at people.
Well, those were even being used during World War II. Flamethrowers like that. They would just incinerate people on the spot. Yeah, I've seen old newsreel footage.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what they were using to clear crowds in Chechnya. I didn't know that. Thank you.
I mean, I saw that actual film footage of just people being burned alive.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was the film footage out of Chechnya.
Yeah.
So it's basically fuel mixed in with Jello.
Jello
it sticks to everything. Yeah, it's like a gelatin.
Oh my God! Didn't they also do that with napalm? So it would stick.
Napalm, same thing. That's the same thing.
Yeah, I can think of that image of that little girl in Vietnam.
Right,
napalm burns on.
It's stuck.
Putin did not. So, well, that was crimes against humanity, but Putin didn't get a lot of credit. No, a lot of people were not hard on him for what he did in Chechnya. They just kind of said, "Oh, well, he liquidated Chechnya." Yeah. It's like, wow. And I think they were being funded by Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken, the Chechen rebels.
Yeah, I just want to say my cards were very sweet and to the point about the invention of their missiles. Look what I got: invention. Just jumped right out. Priorities and victory. You know, it's right to the point. Will Ukraine? I'm sorry. What are we reading?
That we already read that one.
Oh, we did that. Okay. Trump's health update.
Any feelings on that, you guys? Any feelings on
Oh,
that?
do we really need cards on that? But shall we throw?
Do you think that he's just at the end of his rope? I mean,
Yes. I shouldn't be
He's
laughing
tired.
about that, but
He really looked tired today.
I think it's just becoming increasingly obvious. I mean, you know, the White House is doing the best they can to shield him from the cameras, have him setting down, sort of standing. Footage is edited, but people on the internet who are getting hold of unedited video, it's really scary how out of it he is.
are you serious?
Well, how much his mind is going. And I think there was a video where you could hear him, you know, obviously in his diaper, defecating himself. You could hear the noise in the Oval Office, and you could see people, they could smell it. I've seen videos like that. I mean, just all kinds of really humiliating videos. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He has no control of his bowels, basically,
none,
right?
None. And we've known that, and we know the reason why.
Can't they fix that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Can't they fix it?
Well, that goes back to that.
Well, fixing it, no. If the sphincter was damaged, and the allegations are that the sphincter was irreparably damaged, then a colonoscopy bag is usually recommended. But colonoscopy bags can also leak, and there can be problems with those.
Ooh. Yeah. But do you think maybe he's just too damn stubborn to wear a colonoscopy bag? Colostomy bag, I meant to say.
Well, if you're soiling yourself like that.
Well, he allegedly wears diapers, and I have seen reports from people who used to work on The Apprentice. There was actually someone whose job
shit show,
was to clean him up because he would poop his diapers, you know, on the set.
Yeah.
To clean him up and get him redressed and ready to.
Yeah, it might be that, you know, it might be that he didn't want to have the surgery, and so
that's what I'm thinking.
He's lost control of his sphincter.
Yeah, I think he's just stubborn. He does what he wants to do.
There is a feeling in these cards that some kind of truth or expose could come out regarding Trump's health of previously not disclosed information. So that, you know, what are the ethical and moral problems with lying to the American people about the health of the commander-in-chief? Well, they did it with FDR also.
Oh, yes.
And there have been people who have been dead, right? Where they've had, the guy was practically dead. Was it Taft? And his wife had to sign it, and they were like propped him up with a pen. Who was that?
Wilson, that was Wilson, because his wife, Edith, allegedly was running the country for a while.
Yep.
Yeah. He had a serious stroke. I think, wasn't it like the last year he was in office?
It was his last year.
And it was Edith who would sign bills and things. And
even the leaders of Congress were trying to visit him.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't let him in.
Oh, yeah. But that was also, 1919? So it was easier to keep up a pretense like that. Even with Roosevelt, the fact that he was able to hide his paralysis from the public. You know, he...
well, that was a gentleman's agreement between the press and the president, because they respect him that much.
You know, I used to have an elderly friend in her 90s. As a little girl, she saw Roosevelt speak, and she witnessed them taking him out of the car and flinging him over. A Secret Service man had Roosevelt over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes and propping him in place. And Roosevelt had these braces on so he could stand. But she witnessed what went on before the camera started rolling. He was in pretty bad shape. And he also knew how to swing his hips and give the illusion of walking. He would have usually like his two sons take his arms, and he would walk for maybe 10, 15 seconds. He did a lot of elaborate things.
He did a lot.
Keep the illusion up.
Well, Archangel Michael, the spy, comes to expose some kind of a truth. And then the Star card is also exposing hopes and fears, the overall health. 9 of Pentacles is confidence, shaky. 2 of Pentacles. I think there's going to be increasing. Yeah, here it is. High Priestess's clarification. There appears to be hidden information regarding his health. 2 of Pentacles being shaky, and some kind of undercover investigation that's going to expose it. I think the American people have a right to know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the parallels with Mitch McConnell right now. But probably the dominant card I had here was the Truth card, as you said. The truth is not going to be hidden much longer. It's not being hidden very well right now. It's going to come up. And I got behind that card, the Shame card. There's a lot of shame, a lot of truth. It's coming up around this. The Leadership card, of course, means Trump.
His self-esteem, his ego, his vanity is at stake here. He's fighting for that. He's in a lot of denial about it, but ultimately it's his survival, and it's not looking very good. And I finally got this again, the New Beginnings card. That's twice it's come up now. I think that's the card's way of saying something nicer than just death or something, saying we're heading for new directions. Things are going to be different. Yeah. Ken Paxton facing felony charges of election fraud in Texas.
What are you thinking?
Think
he's going to get away with it because he paid off the judges?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Joel?
He's got out. He was actually impeached. The Attorney General.
Was he impeached?
He was impeached. And he was, they were going to kick him out, but he talked somebody into not voting for him to be removed. Yeah. So he stayed.
Didn't he have 2 counts of first-degree felony securities fraud charges and third-degree felony for failing to register within the state?
All thrown out.
All thrown out.
That's what I mean. He paid off.
Yeah, he lives a charmed life.
He's going to be betrayed by the people he thought he could trust, and he's going to be taken out. You can see here the high priestess moving in for Ken Paxton. An expose is coming. His house of
senator.
Yeah, the House of Opposition for Ken Paxton, evidence, 3 of Pentacles, building a case or the blueprint. If it's a lawsuit, it is building the case. Yeah. The hope and fear, whether he will win or be successful. And then the final outcome is, yes, he's going to be taken out, 10 of Swords. Those close to him will betray him. That is, his future is to be betrayed and taken out by those he trusted. That is the future of Ken Paxton.
Yeah. Well, obviously,
that's surprising.
About priorities. Lots of shame. Wasn't surprised by this card coming up here. But again, my truth card fell out of the deck. And then I got Epiphany. Like, you know what I mean by epiphany.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. And I think,
Wow. Yeah. Okay. We're moving through all these really well. Okay. Yeah.
Will Trump be the Disclosure Day president?
Yes, I think so. I do.
I think so too.
They have to give it to a crazy person because it has to be somebody who it has to be him. Like, who else would have the guts to do it? Yeah. Seriously, who has the guts to be the one to say, folks, we don't know who the hell they are. We don't know what the hell they want. You're on your own. Look, at the point that John McCain was getting reparations for soldiers that had been abducted, at that point, we knew we had a problem, Houston, right? Y'all know about the guy that got taken up by a spaceship by a nuclear facility in Britain at a U.S. Army base out of Britain. He goes to explore the UFO. His commanding officer is standing in front of him, and he's gone. And it's like, where did my underling go? Right? And then he's back. And when he comes back, his eye is damaged. He's got all these medical problems. They literally beamed him up and then beamed him back down again. With an eyewitness, he had to fight to get to get his what is that called? Disabled benefits.
VA benefits.
But it was actually John McCain that made sure that passed through. At that point, we knew we had a problem. I mean, it's not like the Russians have developed a way of beaming us up on board their ship, but somebody
like Star Trek.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. Do you know anything about that, Joel? That case that we're talking about?
I heard about it, but I never dug into it. But I've heard a lot of stories just like that where people were just grabbed and tested and all that. And sometimes they implant devices in them, alien devices, I guess, to keep track on them or something like a tracker or whatever to see what they were up to.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's the ones I've been hearing about. And then you hear about the Area 51, and then they said there's not just the Area 51, there's an Area 52, which is right on the edges of Area 51. And it's nothing but aliens that live there, that are actually stationed there.
Oh.
And they called them the tall whites. And that's one of the tall whites are the people that are the aliens that are 7 to 8 feet tall. They look humanoid, except that they have tiny little teeth, and they have smaller ears, and they got kind of like a white hair, real fine hair. And like I said, they look humanoid, but they're not. They're ETs. And then the ones that are probably going to be, the one that's probably going to do the disclosure day is probably going to be the they call them hybrids, where they're ET and human mixed. And they have all they can actually have families and all that here in this world and live a normal life. Except that I don't know if they're going to be, and they're all over government agencies and stuff like that, even military. So they're actually with us. It's just that we haven't got the official word on it yet.
Right. Well, supposedly it goes back to even to Eisenhower, President Eisenhower, being visited.
Eisenhower was the first.
Yes, and allegedly the plans for how we could go to the moon and land were given to Eisenhower. I don't know.
Right. And also they offered a device that will power homes and factories. Tiny little devices that would actually give a power, electricity to cities and all that. We're talking about little tiny devices.
I mean, I'm thinking like lithium batteries or something.
No, it was just it would grab the electricity out of the air.
Oh,
that's how advanced their technology.
That's fascinating.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
If we can get something like that here, put all the power companies out of business.
Well, yes, it would. It would.
That's why he didn't accept it.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're all headed in their direction? Like,
yes,
we're going to eventually become like
we
them?
are them. We are them. We're just we were planted here from different galaxies, whatever.
What's that saying? We're all made of stardust.
That's right.
It's I think it's really terrifying for people that don't know what the hell is going on, you know?
Well, that's why they're coming out now, because I think people are
trail, which was
used to it now.
Significantly improved now. It was a ruddy, muddy dirt trail. We turned here in the Jeep. We went up there about 150 or 200 yards, and there were 2 or 3 pickup trucks, 6-passenger 4-wheel drive pickup trucks with light-alls, and 10 or 15 cops there. We stopped there. That's when we looked into the forest, and they said, there's where the landing site was the first night. And we went in there. Now, you can't do that now because the forest is too thick. But in those days, there were tall Corsica pines with a tall canopy, and you could walk underneath very easily and see very clearly. In fact, from here, you could see back to the east gate. Through here, and we stopped somewhere back there at the site, and that's when we saw the object out here, and it came into the forest. It went through the trees, bobbing up and down, traveling primarily in a horizontal plane, but it would go up and down a bit. And we tried to get close. We came up toward the fence, the barbed wire fence up there, and it went back out into the field, and then it exploded silently into objects, white objects, and disappeared. So we went out into the field looking for any residue because it was dripping something that looked like molten metal or sparks were coming off it. We found no evidence. That's when we saw the objects in the sky to the north, and then later the ones to the south that sent down a beam. Down there, yeah, we were down there about 100 yards looking at the farmer's house is over there. If you look at the bottom of the house, there's a big hedgerow was not there. There's a row windows top and a row windows bottom. When the object went out into the field, we could see it reflecting off the windows, top and bottom. In fact, so brightly, I was concerned about the people in the farmhouse. I mean, it looked like it was on fire. We watched it till it exploded. Then we went out into the field, and we went across the field, past the farmer's house, and across there's a road in front of his house, a small road, and some brush. And we wandered through a small stream, and everybody got wet, which discouraged us from staying out too much longer because it was cold and damp and windy. And went out in the field on the other side, and that's when we saw the objects in the sky to the south, and the object sent on to beam on us.
Can I
So
say something real quick?
yeah,
Last
that,
night
he
I
got
had
the
a
beam
dream.
over him, and then he got taken up, and then he disappeared, and that was witnessed. So he dematerialized. The man talking, he experienced a lot of problems, like he's partially blind in his eye because of it. He got full benefits. John McCain advocated for him. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that I had a dream last night where in my dream, I saw thousands of ET ships in the sky, all over the horizon, thousands of them. And, maybe this is just a glimmer of what we're actually going to see in the future.
How do you think people are going to handle it psychologically? Do you think people are going to have a meltdown, or they're just going to have to accept that it's reality and get on with their lives? I mean,
Going to have to accept it.
They'll have to accept it, but I think a lot of people are going to freak out just the same because it's the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown. It's frightening. Maybe too many Hollywood movies about Martians and UFOs and things. No matter how.
Well, if they were going to take us out, they would have taken us out by now. But,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, what is there to fear? I mean,
well,
when you think about it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just thinking human nature. A lot of people are going to be afraid. It's just fear of the unknown. Will Susan Collins be defeated in November?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we talked about that earlier. We feel that's going to.
Let's take a look at what her cards are like, because I really get the impression that people are just sick of her. People want change. Susan Collins' future. A judgment is over her. It's up to the main voters. There's only so much you can do with super PACs. There's only so many times you can drown people with, TV ads. They're like, I'm taking the dog for a walk. I can't watch this anymore. People will tune out. People are not watching those ads anymore anyway. They're tuning stuff out, taking the weapons of war away.
Yeah.
This is not looking good for her. It's looking like the judgment goes against her. People feel like she's become increasingly out of touch with the voter. Queen of Cups, lives in their own world. Final outcome, they also think she may be in it for her own vested interest. I don't feel it's good for Collins at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I got, are you done, Whimsy? I got,
yeah, go ahead.
There's a shadow over her survival right now, meaning her political survival. Interesting. The community card came up, the good people of Maine. There's a lot of despair over her right now, a sense of priorities. And I got the competition card, the tug of war. There's fierce competition for her job. And I just don't think it looks good for her based on that shadow and over her survival.
So you don't think she's going to be reelected? I don't think she's.
I don't think so. I think
even
the people are going to speak, and doesn't look good.
You were going to say something, Joel? I'm sorry.
Oh, she's done. I think she's done. People are fed up with her.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a question about the Russian economy and their fuel failure. Oh, I'm sorry. This is from Joseph Winnie, 802. I have a question about the Russian economy and their fuel failure. It's getting really bad.
It is.
Oh, yeah. It's getting desperate. And like we were saying earlier, it may be what's going to be ultimately the impetus for people uprising and revolting.
Riots,
people starving, no electricity, no fuel, no
especially
heat.
This winter.
Yeah, no heat. Oh yeah, that's bad.
Bad, bad, bad.
Yeah, as it says there in the comment, it's getting really bad. Kimberly Bly Fitpold. Will the American people ever get the stolen money that Trump and his family got in shady business, etc.? Oh, I'd like to see the answer to this one. What? How many billions has Trump made in office? We talked about this the other day.
Well, since
you think it's legal though?
This term, he's made almost $8 to $10 billion.
Something like that. And
yeah,
I think about what Harry Truman said: "Show me a politician who gets rich in office, and I'll show you a crook."
That's right.
That's still true. But will the people get their money?
No, he 2 of Cups. It's not something that they were able to get a conviction on. I mean, the biggest investigations are coming out of New York. It had to do with importing and exporting and making deals, trade deals potentially. This is trade 2 of Wands.
Do you think that
making deals? He was taking a little off the side. What a freaking horrible person.
Do you think New York will get that money from the taxes?
This is not looking good. Those cards, it was like he made a lot of money on trade. That's what they're saying.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But will he pay that money back that he owes New York?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I just asked the question in my cards. I got despair, deprivation, and loss. That doesn't look too good. It does not look favorable. Where that money ever being recovered, going backwards supposed to. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Ways of getting around it too. You know, by the time it goes to court, you know, just getting him to court is a miracle.
Yeah. I remember his first term, a very good psychic friend of mine. I asked her, "What do you see?" And she said, "Oh, I just see him cashing in on the presidency every opportunity he can get." It's happened.
Ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching. Yeah.
Do you think the next, oh, go ahead, Chuck, please go ahead.
Yes, from Tricky Tree 8815. The incoming government that will take over when Putin is gone, will it be better or worse than Putin?
Well, I think they would be better because they're not going to be trying to take over the world and thinking that they're Jesus.
Right.
I mean, Putin was high on drugs thinking that he was Jesus. He's a methamphetamine and heroin addict.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who's completely out to lunch.
Yeah.
This looks like a bureaucrat. This looks like the person coming in is going to be just somebody who balances budgets, all about frugality and money and coin and over corruption. Also, Ace of Cups. They don't want to go to war with the West, this new administration coming in. They want to balance their books and just crawl out from under this. What a nightmare economically. It was the biggest mistake he ever made in his entire career, Putin.
Yeah. Are you done? Yeah, because
should have advocated to be part of the Abraham Accords. He should have played their game. He'd be and built something in the Donetsk and shook hands and said, "Let's work together," and never had a war.
Yeah, we even talked about that, about how he was actually given a graceful exit. He could have been looked more favorably in the history books.
Taking the trade route deal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was interesting. I got this card earlier. You're done, aren't you, Whimsy? I got this card earlier when we were talking about Putin. I was even marveling at it myself because it was rather positive. The New Beginnings card. Again, it just jumped out again when I asked this question. And to me, this is a very positive card. And I got the Grace card, which tells me it is going to be a better government. Maybe very flawed, but it's going to be better than what they've had.
It's going to be a temporary government, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until they have elections.
Yeah, an interim. From Linda Davies, F81. Hello, my 3 favorite people together again. Well, hello to you. You're awesome. Love your chats. Love ya. Well, I think we love you right back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you for such a kind compliment.
Well, that was an interesting bunch of blitzes. And as we move this conversation along, it would be awesome if everybody would like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us advance this channel because we're trying to get to 150,000 subscribers as we move in that direction, hopefully by January. And now, by popular demand, a question that came up by one of the readers had to do with the issue of perfectionism and mental health. Many of us want, it came up 2 or 3 times actually, both last week in last week's discussion. We hear you, but also in comments, this desire for mastery. If we could expand a little bit more on what is the pursuit of mastery, and can we talk a little bit about what is the difference between wanting to master something and being somebody who's a perfectionist, and does all of that perfectionism have a negative impact on your mental health? I'm just trying to get by, this person says.
Well,
Chuck, can you talk about that?
Well, it's certainly
first off, define what the problem is. Define what, I don't think I have permission to use her name. I won't use her name.
I don't know. Well, perfectionism is, of course, believing that anything less than perfect is unacceptable. Healthy people strive for excellence, but perfectionists believe their worth depends on flawless performances. Excellence says, I want to do my best. Perfectionism says, if it's not perfect, I'm not enough. We can use perfectionism as a way to kind of crack a whip on ourselves, abuse ourselves, where it's like something unobtainable, but we can strive to be our very best. I consider myself a perfectionist. I've had to deal with it a lot in my artwork, but for me, it's kind of like the bait on the hook, outward. I know I will never achieve perfectionism, but I know that I can strive to be the best I can possibly be. And that's actually very exciting to me, and it's tantalizing. And it's the impetus that keeps me going and keeps me achieving things.
But I think that what she's saying is that when we talk about to people, okay, you have to pick something to master.
Yeah.
And for example, today I got really frustrated with the violin because I cannot play. It's 3 years. I should be now at, I have these irrational expectations for myself. Well, Ray Chen, he completed all 10 Suzuki books by the time he was 5 years old. I mean, come on. I'm never going to be Ray Chen. And the problem, I think, with perfectionism is that it's very ego driven, don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
Perfectionism doesn't motivate people. Eventually, it just exhausts you. It produces chronic anxiety, fear of failure, procrastination can come because of it, burnout, depression, low self-esteem, difficulty even in enjoying the accomplishments that you make. It feels like punishment to me.
It feels to me like when I get into like today, I was trying to play that violin piece again, and I cannot, I've practiced this piece a couple hundred times, that play, and I still cannot do it. And I'm thinking there's something wrong with me. I don't know if it's my age, if what the issue is. And I hear myself, and it's because of this irrational, it's the myth of we live up to these mythical characters, and then we find out that these mythical characters never existed in the first place. Exactly. And the problem with these ego trips, where it's like, oh, I want to be as great as so-and-so, you don't feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You start feeling like you're a failure before you've even tried.
Well, if I may say this, I think perfectionism also creates impossible rules that we impose upon ourselves. Things we'll never achieve. I used to look up to a lot of celebrities who seemed to make all these incredible accomplishments. And I thought, how are you doing so much more in your day than I do? Well, it turned out they had maybe 100 assistants working underneath them, and they were delegating all the work out.
Right.
There's only so much we can humanly do. And also, I've said this to you, how we can do a to-do list. We also need to do a ta-da list, where we write down what we accomplished during the day. And many times you look at that, it's things that we've dismissed earlier. Like you may find you've gone much further with your violin than you realize. And I know you're documenting your progress. I'm sure you can see your progress.
Do you think I've gone far? Because I feel, people have told me I'm progressing, but here's my problem, and it goes back to this conversation between excellence versus perfectionism. If I want to my job when I'm on pursuing mastery is to simply learn everything. I judge myself by my own standards. Mm-hmm. That's really how you kind of have to view it. That's what are my standards for the kind of herbalist I'm going to be, naturopathic doctor I'm going to be? What are those standards? Not that I keep when you start comparing yourself to other people and it gets a little bit of competition, then it can be a little egotistical. And I understand people compete professionally, but we're not talking about that. When it's just you trying to master something, I think that ultimately it's just about you. It has to become more personal and less. I think perfectionism happens when you start to become depressed when you start comparing yourself to the Joneses.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Henry Ford when he was trying to perfect the assembly line.
Right.
How did he do it? A lot of people don't know this.
Painted them all black, right?
He made them all black.
Yeah.
And plus, he consulted. He had a little black book. That was his secret, and it was filled with all the experts in all fields. And all they had to do was call them. They all had phone numbers on it. Yeah. And he would call that person, and they would come in and they would help him. That's how he perfected the
you have other people.
Same thing with Edison too.
Yeah, I think Henry Ford had a famous saying: "You can have any car you want as long as it's black."
As long as it's black.
But Whimsy, could I ask you? Do you feel it's important to please others with your violin, or just to please yourself? Because when I watch you play, I've told you this, I see you at peace, and I see
well, today I was cursing and I wanted to hit something, and I wanted to punish myself. What the hell is wrong with you? Why can't you do it? And then, I knew what the topic was going to be because of the feedback we had gotten the last couple of weeks, where people were kind of feeling depressed by the assignment of mastery. They feel like it's just making them feel like a loser, and that's not what we don't.
I think it's about not what
we're not saying you have to be a perfectionist and you have to be perfect and everything you produce has to be perfect and you have to constantly compare yourself to other people. Get off of that. That's perfectionism, and that's beating yourself up. Nobody's thinking about you. Nobody's thinking about the fact that you didn't bake a cake. Mastery is a personal, quiet journey. It's your sacred contract with yourself. You don't have that contract with anybody but yourself and your creator, that your own unique gift to the best of your ability, you are going to master. And you're never going to play the violin like Hafitz or Ray Chen. The best I'm going to be when I master violin, and I will, it's going to be the best expression of whimsy playing the violin. And that's all I'm being asked to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I remember reading a book by Jack Benny's daughter, and Jack Benny took up the violin late in life, and he never reached the level of mastery he wanted, but his daughter said he just so loved it, and it gave him such joy and such fulfillment, and that's what he cared about more than anything.
He played
after my own heart.
He played for I think the Hollywood Bowl one time.
Yeah, well, he did reach a good level of proficiency, but his daughter said he worked very, very hard to get there because he took it up so late in life. But Whimsy, I just want to say something because I did a little bit of my own research about perfectionism. This surprised me. Some feel that it comes from a fear of rejection, childhood criticism, conditional love, trauma in our life, comparing ourselves with others, as you said, social media's unrealistic standards, and a belief that achievement equals value. I thought, wow. And then it said, finally, many perfectionists are trying to be impressive because they're trying to feel safe. Does that resonate?
So, but I want people to pursue mastery. But I don't. No. This is what I don't want. I
think it's really the joy of mastery,
comments that this person gave, and clearly it's resonating because we're getting a lot of comments.
Yeah,
so how do we? Chuck, what advice do we give people? Because I don't want people to give up their dreams or like, well, I'll never amount to anything because I'll never be able to sing folk music like Joan Baez. You're not supposed to be Joan Baez. That's not the purpose of the journey.
Ultimately to your own personal joy and contentment and peace. As we said, not comparing yourself to others. I've told this story. My first art teacher didn't tell me this until later, but she said when she first encountered me, she thought I had no talent whatsoever. And then it was 4 years later, she said, you're probably the best student I've ever had in my whole teaching career. But you see, I didn't know that. I just believed I had talent, and I knew I was going to do it, and I was loving it. And I eventually caught up with myself. I
think you're considered a master now. You've achieved your 10,000 hours.
I would say that in that case, yes.
Yeah, 100%. Also, you make money at what you do. My question to you is the journey to mastery. Did you ever compare yourself to other people?
All the time.
Did it ever depress you? Did it ever make you?
Oh, God, yes. God, yes. I did it all the time. All the time. High school, college. You know, it was one thing when I was in high school because it was a tiny little town. So I was like the one talented artist in my school. I go off to my college. I go to art school. Suddenly there's 40 other people in the room with me who are also the best student in their class. And now it's all leveled out and it's a different playing field. And yeah, I constantly felt inferior, constantly. And I can't tell you how many hundreds, if not thousands of drawings I have ripped up. I have taken canvases and broken them over my knee. I mean, you want to talk about anger and frustration, but something in me has always believed in myself. Yeah, stick with it. Like I say to you, Whimsy, I see how beautiful it is.
Oh, I'm sticking with it. And it's happening very organically and very naturally. I didn't want to stand when I was playing the violin, and they said, no, you need to stand and take this position. I like sitting. I like sitting with my legs crossed. So for 3 years, I sat with my legs crossed. And then yesterday, I got out my stand, and I put my stand up, and I put my Wollstonecraft or whatever it is, my scales and my etudes, and I took the position, and I said, you know, I'm liking the way this feels.
Isn't that great?
And for the first time, I did scales standing, and I did 30 minutes of scales standing. I'm like, I really like this, and it's happening for me very naturally. And it was in the third year that I decided to stand and start doing scales, and it was in the third year I started taking scales seriously. Wollstonecraft or whatever the famous scales book that every single violinist knows, the scale book, because he's known for his etudes. I think they're called these little mini Wolfart, the Wolfart book. Yes. Yeah. So I was practicing my Wolfart standing.
That's fantastic.
So I feel like my body and my mastery journey, I feel like my soul, my spirit is leading me. Now you're ready to get up there. And it's like the other thing that I started to do, and it's all happening very organically, is I went and bought a traditional metronome. And this is one of the originals from like 1800s that you wind.
Wow.
Right? That's a 3/4 time. So you know, what I'm doing in terms of my journey to mastery is like, I'm taking advice from, I have teachers obviously, but I'm also letting my own self organically evolve into things. Like I used to hate, I don't want to do the rhythm lessons, but now I'm just naturally going into really focusing on rhythm, standing, getting my stand ready,
those basics,
doing at least 30 minutes of those scales a day. Let's hear what other people have to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say very quickly, when I first started taking art classes, I had to do a lot of boring still lifes and things like that. I hated, but it builds the foundation. Okay, Tori V. Sun Moon. I was an advanced violinist in high school. Haven't played for years until now, and I struggle with the same thing. It's not like riding a bike, but I'm getting there. So keep going, Whimsy. And Tori V. Sun Moon. I'm trying to compare myself to 15 to 18-year-old me with the violin, and I'm 43, laughing out loud. Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to come back to you.
Yeah, it'll come back to you, and you may even advance beyond 15 to 18.
I think so.
There are some there are seniors that have become very famous on YouTube. Like one senior, she got to mastery in like 4 or 5 years. And she was like blowing the masters away. She started off like da 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 da, but you know, we're seniors. We got nothing to do. Many of us are retired. Within 5 years, she was like doo-doo! And you saw the reaction from the professional violinists. They were like, oh, they were like blown away. She was like, because and you don't have that kind of attention when a kid is 5 years old. They you know, I don't want to do this anymore.
Not unless you're a prodigy.
But a senior can sit there for 4 hours consistently.
Yeah,
and I think so that's why I think, so I think that's why seniors actually advance in some cases more rapidly than younger students.
And I think
you ever seen Doug Kershaw?
No. Check
him out. His name's Doug Kershaw. He's a Cajun violinist.
Oh, I love that stuff.
And he sings and plays the fiddle at the same time.
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Oh, he's a good-looking guy too. And,
you could be doing that, Whimsy. You could be doing
that. Sounds like my flavor.
You would love that, Whimsy.
But I think we definitely get more discipline as we get older. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do one or two more comments and then we'll call it a night.
All right, from Warrior Queen's Magic, and I love your name. I think it is the journey that goes with it. Yes, I agree. I have a friend in Jersey plays piano, used to teach. She inspires me to restart my flute again, but also my creative projects with my hands.
Yeah, and that and wanting to master it, meaning wanting to fall in love with something and know it completely. And that's a different relationship than ego-bound perfectionism. And that's, I think, what we can agree we're saying here.
Yeah, it's like it chokes it off where the other fulfills and nurtures. Okay, and Warrior Queen's Magic goes on to say she has a grand piano, learned to play it young by a neighbor in Brooklyn. She is getting older, has memory issues, but her piano music is like perfectionist. 45 years piano, that is all she loves. Well, that is beautiful.
And Elton John too, he loves his piano.
Yeah. Jennifer Petunia 7, playing violin is like dancing because you feel the music throughout your body. Probably why when you're standing, it's so much more effective for you.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed standing today.
Yeah. I'm glad you made that discovery. Julie M. .64. If you get frustrated, take out your Fisher Price xylophone and bang on it for a while. Oh, that sounds good. Have you ever seen who was it? Jimmy Fallon, where he'll have his band take little children's instruments and play. It's delightful. From Warrior Queen's Magic, love music, always around it. My grandma taught and wrote music, taught English to survive. She taught me flute as a young one. My uncles all played an instrument. That's wonderful. And from Tori V. Sun Moon, Joel, I always wanted to sing and play the violin at the same time.
It's a gift.
Yeah, it's doable. OMG, oh my God. The perfectionism statement is so dead on. Oh, and that's from KT81.
Yeah, it really resonates for a lot of people. One more and then we'll close.
Yeah, from Joseph Winnie 802. Studies show that elders that learn the piano are 70% less likely to suffer dementia or Alzheimer's disease. I agree with that. I think that ties in with the show we did, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We were talking about feeding the brain, keeping
healthy brain
active.
function. We'll do more on healthy brain function.
Yeah, but that makes perfect sense to me. You're combining creativity, channeling, but also, as you know, some music requires discipline and, being able to count and keep rhythm and time. It's very good for the brain.
Absolutely. Well, you two, this has been a hell of a good show. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Great show today.
Awesome.
I knew this was going to be a good topic.
Yeah, I really, we had a lot of feedback on it, and I felt like I was getting I have to be perfect. And I was like, wait a minute, this is exactly what people are talking about. And so I'm really glad it resonated with people because it was something we needed to talk about.
Oh, yes, very much so.
Yes, go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you're encouraging me to teach art on YouTube.
Yes.
Do that online classes. And I realized this would be the approach I would want to take with students. Get over your perfectionism.
Be gentle.
It's like my acting teacher, Dee Wallace, used to say, be like a little child playing in the sandbox. She'd say, you're not performing brain surgery here. Be like a kid in the sandbox. Play, find your joy. That's where it'll flow to your creativity.
It will come to you. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So for people who are veterans and they're trying to get benefits and you're disabled and you would like to get help with that, Joel Tilson, how can people reach you for veterans benefits information?
You could reach me at joeltilson@msn.com, and I'll be happy to answer any question you have and possibly refer you to whoever and give you the good advice that you need to get your claim done.
that's
And-
fabulous.
Wonderful. And Chuck, how do people reach you if they're trying to
Well,
reach you?
well, the best way to reach me is dransfieldchuck@gmail.com. Dransfieldchuck, one word. I'm available for private intuitive readings. I love to be commissioned for artwork. Many times I get intuitive messages when I'm doing portraits, so you get a little more than just a portrait from me. I'm putting up more videos on my channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles. I have one now where I channeled Harry Truman. Please watch it because it's a very positive message, and I know it's authentic because it's
I actually was
honored to
upset
me.
watching it because
Were you?
yes, I was, but we can I just feel like I felt like I was listening to somebody who had a moral compass. I think that was what I took away from.
Oh, very much so.
Truman was very, when you delivered your remote with Truman, I watched it.
Well, FDR didn't want him at first.
Oh, I know.
Did you know that?
Yes, I knew that.
Interesting.
He wanted Wallace, what's his name, Henry Wallace, to continue being his vice president. But the blue, what they call the conservative Democrats in the South, wanted Harry Truman. They insisted on him.
Chuck, do you have the? I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you done, Joel?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Chuck, do you have the painting by any chance that you did?
Yes,
I thought it was really
beautiful.
one of your better works. I mean,
Well, thank
everything
you.
you do is amazing, but man, it was so real to life.
Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
I mean, I really felt you
That's-
oh my God, you encapsulated him so well in that mediumship message. Pull back a little bit and come over here a little bit.
There you go.
Oh my
Perfect.
God.
I wanted
You got
to
it.
see the eyes.
He was very, I felt when you channeled him, he was very clear in his ethics. There was
Yes.
a sense of right and wrong and
That
a sense
came
of,
so strong.
That's why
yeah,
his name is Truman.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
yeah.
And I told you it was really interesting because I originally read that message on this show last October when the East
Right.
Wing was torn down. And when I brought it out, dusted it off and started revising it, he came through and started editing it. He said, now let's take this paragraph out. Let's move these two sentences together, because he was such an inveterate speechmaker and politician. And as I said, I know when I'm channeling someone when they're smarter than me. When I never would
Isn't that
come up with this.
awesome when you
I
get
know.
that higher? When you channel a deity, I've been ridden by a deity. Oshun has come through, and that's really amazing when you channel a deity, because then you're like, I am a deity.
Yeah.
It's not scary, but you feel like I am power. And but with Truman, I felt I am ethics, I am right, I am wrong. This is the
Very
core
much so.
fundamental point that he misses. This is the point. Like he was
And there was no ego.
right, but he was very precise in the channeling, and I really love that
Laser.
about it.
Thank you.
Laser
And he
focus.
also differentiated. He said Harry Truman may have sworn, but President Truman was another thing. He was very conscious of the dignity of the office and upholding it.
Yeah.
But he acknowledged that he was less than perfect, but he
Right.
strived to be his best for the presidency.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really encouraging about talking of using the metaphor of the White House rebuilding from the inside out to make it structurally stronger for future generations.
Right,
saying
exactly.
That's going to be our American
Yeah.
democracy. We're going to rebuild it from the inside out. So anyway, it's
Right.
a message I'm very proud of.
Yeah, it was a
And he
brilliant
wasn't
job.
rich.
Thank you.
Brilliant job, Chuck.
I take that with honor.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you
Thank
did
you.
a great job.
Thank you.
All right. If you're trying to reach me, you can book me through Booksy, Dr. Whimsy Anderson, for consultations, medical intuition, and readings, remote viewings. I would love to work with you.
Mhm.
We are out of here. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next time. Great show
See you
tonight,
next
you guys.
time.
Thank
Thank
being
you.
here. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.